Big interview time, and we're bringing in the two best, our analysts for Peacock's coverage of the Super Motocross World Championship, Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart. First, good to catch up with you guys a few days before the race. That's always fun. But we have to go back to the news that happened a couple of weeks ago. I want the takes from both of you on losing Jett Lawrence in the championship. RC, I heard you discussing it quite a bit in your Title 24 podcast, so I'll go to you on that first, and then you, James. But RC, Jett's out. How does that change the landscape?
Well, it gives a lot of people, in my opinion, a breath of fresh air. I think it's no secret that he was the favorite for sure, for obvious reasons. But most of all, I'm just really bummed for our great fans in SMX and everybody involved. He's a very popular rider, as you know, and it's just a bummer. And something so simple like that, so close to the season opener. I hate it for him. Again, I hate it for the fans. But that's the downside of this sport, right? But at the same time, as we look forward, I look at the opportunity it gives these other guys. Not to say that anybody else couldn't have beat him, but definitely is it's a big one that's out of the series now.
Yeah, I completely agree. What RC was saying, especially on the Jett standpoint, I've been in that position where you want to come back, and especially with him missing last year, defending champion, missing that, having that opportunity coming off the 3P in the XMX world, like you knew he was looking forward to getting in here. But I think it is huge for everyone else. Like, again, not to say they couldn't beat him, but I think it allows guys like Chase Sexton to really try to find his form. Will this be that time? Time's a charm for a different team. Will he step up on the Kawasaki and even Eli Tomac, what he's going to do on the KTM? But I think it really brings in a lot of guys like my brother. I saw him be able to beat Jett Lawrence over in Paris. He's riding a lot of momentum. So it gives those guys a lot of opportunity and a lot of belief that he's out, that this might be the time.
Yeah, it is. And, I think there was a lot of talk about it, and it was the biggest news of the offseason. But then, we get through the holidays and everybody starts to turn the page and focus on Anaheim 1 with the riders that we do have. And when I personally thought about A1, it was such a pressure cooker and so much anticipation. But now that I've gotten into this role where I get to talk to all these riders before the race, I've noticed a huge difference where a guy like AP or a guy like Ken Roczen, they seemed pretty loose and more opportunistic with A1. Where I talk to other guys like Sexton, they are like so much nerves. Cooper Webb, like you can see it in their face. You can see it in their mannerisms, how much pressure is wrapped into this race. So for you two, who both, rewrote the record books in the sport, how did you guys individually view this race? Was it more like, hey, I'm going to go out and smash these guys? Or was it the weight of the world knowing that you were expected to win this race and the championship?
For me personally, it was both. I wanted to go out and smash these guys because of the pressure that was put on, really by myself, but just the expectations. And I really do believe Anaheim's a setter, especially having a favor out like Jett Lawrence. I think is really important for all these guys, but, really Chase Sexton, even my brother, Malcolm Stewart, Justin Cooper, maybe not Cooper Webb so much, but I think it's really important for those guys to really solidify that we're here. All the changes that was made during the offseason, I think this is a great opportunity to kind of showcase that. For guys like Ken Roczen and Aaron Plessinger, I think that it's still the same. They'll come in here and try to get the best finishes they can and kind of roll through it because they're a little bit older in their careers. You wouldn't say they were necessarily the favored, but guys like Chase Sexton, Eli, I think it's really important for those guys to come out and make a standpoint, Ricky.
Yeah, I think, JT, you mentioned the guys that you did and the people who were like, you felt nerves, and those are guys that are past Supercross champions. They know what's at stake, and I do feel like it's a mindset. For me, I mean, of course, I wanted to win Anaheim, Anaheim 1, but a lot of times I just wanted to get through there, maximize my points. I really believe it's a mindset. We want to win every single race. I never could get the job done. A lot of that was self-induced, and then other times I just got straight up beat. But at the end of the day, I was looking round 5, 6, 7, and then the championship. And I just think it's a mindset. I think Like Ken Roxon, he's a favorite. Cooper Webb, I think, he's a 3-time Supercross champ. Would he love to win Anaheim 1? Of course he would. But I think if you ask him, hey, would you sacrifice an Anaheim 1 win for a 4-time Supercross championship? I think I know which option that he's taken. So again, there's a lot of hype there. And then like what James is talking about, like his brother, what about Justin Cooper? What about Jason Anderson? Guys that we haven't mentioned. I mean, those are all guys that could get in there. Everybody is so energized and so amped up that I feel as though sometimes you really have to look at the big picture again. And like, if you're not feeling it and there's so much hype and angst around the event, you really have to play it cool also and not get caught in the hype, because the next thing you know, you'll be on the ground and losing points, and you're at a deficit going into round 2. And the last thing these guys want to do is cough up any points early on in the season.
Oh, we love it. Everyone's going to say that it's a long season and it doesn't matter all that much, but we're already figuring out reasons why it's still going to end up mattering. That's so cool. Thanks for the time, guys. Looking forward to the weekend and joining on to the broadcast this weekend.
You bet. James, I got this shirt for you, dude.
Yeah,
guy.
Happy New Year's. I love that. It shows you how old we are. That's all that is.
That's right. Now, we're not old. We're experienced, bro.
Experience.
Thanks for having us on.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The riders are pumped up, and hopefully you are as well. We'll remind you again of all the different ways to watch the wall-to-wall coverage from Anaheim 1 and the kickoff to SMX in 2026. So race day live coverage. And look, with an unknown season like this, you want all the data you can get. You definitely want to watch qualifying and see the lap times. That will start at 1 o'clock Eastern. Race day live available on Peacock, or of course the SMX video pass outside the United States. The traditional pre-race show starts at 6:30 Eastern. That's a half hour before the gates drop at 7 o'clock Eastern. And then I'll roll right into a live SMX Insider post-race show at 10 Eastern. That's all available on Peacock or the SMX Video Pass. In addition, we'll have the first ever SMX preview live from Anaheim. That will start at 4:30 Eastern. You can watch it on Peacock or NBC. That's an unprecedented amount of coverage.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You can have it all: news, highlights, interviews, and analysis. So go for it.